The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So that coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, that SARS-CoV-2, that shit is taking over the globe, has over 200,000 confirmed cases worldwide and over 8,000 people deceased from said disease virus. Iran is one of the nations that have been hit the hardest, with them reporting their death toll at just under 1,000, but the World Health Organization feels like it could be 5 times higher. Researchers are saying that they're not going to reach their rate of infection peak until another couple of months, and as many as 3.5 million of those people could actually die from this virus. Over in Italy, they have 345 new cases in the last 24 hours, bringing their death toll to over 2,500. And you know that country's on lockdown. And as well as Spain, with 533 deaths and 12,000 confirmed cases, with Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez actually speaking to an empty parliament due to the fact that only a few dozen of the parliament members and lawmakers are even allowed to show up to work. So there you have it. Green Wall graduate. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, coronavirus disease 2019. More on how this shit is spreading and fucking up the globe. In Madrid, Spain, you have prisoners climbing on top of the roof of an immigration jail, bringing attention to the poor medical conditions in there as prisoners start to get sick. Over in Latin America, you have Guatemala actually suspending all U.S. deportation flights that were bringing in asylum seekers, U.S. asylum seekers, that is, by through the agreement that was set between former President Jimmy Morales and Trump, the Safe Third Country rule. So that's all being vetted at the moment. And then over in Africa, at least 30 countries, more than half the continent, actually have confirmed COVID-19 cases. In Tunisia, they're actually imposing a 12-hour curfew, with also asking the citizens to contribute half of their pay towards treating the pandemic. Ivory Coast closed down all of the schools. In West Africa as a whole, they're like shutting off their borders in affected areas of nations for like outside flights. Green Wall graduates. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the coronavirus, more how it's affecting the United States. We actually are at over 6,200 confirmed cases throughout the country. The death toll has reached 107. Now, these numbers are considered pretty unofficial since we're considered to be severely underprepared regarding testing people for the virus. So, people feel like those numbers could be much higher. The Imperial College of London, researchers over there actually estimated that the novel coronavirus, basically a coronavirus that has yet to be named, could actually take the lives of 2.2 million Americans if there's no dramatic action taken. So, take that info for what you want to take it with. But a lot of people are shutting places down, even in Florida. But you have still people partying, like, on the beaches for spring break, even though Governor DeSantis actually barred all restaurants and clubs over in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and in Nashville, Tennessee. You have them closing down like concert venues, shutting them down. So people are trying to contain these things. Green Wall graduation. The New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio has actually said that all 8.6 million residents of New York City may be expected to shelter in place, basically stay the fuck in the house. And that call could come within 48 hours. But Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, actually contradicted what he said. He said that no city can actually quarantine without state approval, and he has no intention on quarantining any city. Nevertheless, he's been slamming Trump, Cuomo has, for his inaction. He says that they're basically like short on ventilators that would actually have help people with respiratory problems. They're short by like 16,000. And he says that the peak of needing those ventilators should come in the next 45 days, where 55 to 110,000 hospital beds are expected. The city that apparently only has 53,000 hospital beds. And the Metropolitan Transport Authority in New York City, the MTA, they're requesting a $4 billion bailout from the federal government due to the lack of ridership. Green War graduation. Reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in New York City, you actually had a resident at a homeless shelter that tested positive for having that coronavirus. And then also in Sing Sing, in the prison up north of New York City, they actually had one prisoner that tested positive for coronavirus. Over in Aurora, Colorado, there were actually 10 prisoners of this immigrant jail that actually had to be quarantined, and they're currently being tested right now because of fears of that they might have that COVID-19, that coronavirus disease 2019. There's also in California, the LA Times is reporting that ICE agents, equipped with like protective masks are still going to homes in Cali and arresting, making immigrant arrests, even though the whole state is supposed to be like shut down. You're not even supposed to be like really moving throughout the state like that. And Trump administration is actually planning a crackdown on the borders that will have Border Patrol basically straight rejecting without any due process any asylum seekers, anybody trying to cross the borders outside of the official port of entry. We're going straight back to Mexico, apparently. That's what they're planning for. Green War graduation. What the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the Trump administration has said that they are actually going to support an economic stimulus package to deal with the economic disaster that was resulted from the spread of coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, or that Rona. You know what I'm saying? Now, that $1 trillion package, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin actually said that this would actually provide $1,000 checks, and they would get sent to adults, American adults, right away, with likely more direct payouts in these upcoming weeks. You actually have Bloomberg actually reports that Mnuchin told Republican reporters Republican senators, that if without intervention, that jobless rate could actually hit 20% in the U.S. Mnuchin also is proposing a $50 billion bailout for the aviation industry, which you have people in the industry saying, like Sarah Nelson, for example, the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, basically saying that stimulus package, any stimulus package to the aviation industry needs to come with rules, you know what I mean? Like basically, this needs to get spread out amongst the workers, the flight attendants and whatnot. Should not be added to like some CEO bonus. Should not set up any company to basically pay their way out of a contract and bankruptcy or any shit like that we saw happen during the bailout in the HART plan under Bush and Obama. You know what I'm saying? So Green War graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the New England Journal of Medicine actually published a report regarding COVID-19, coronavirus disease 2019, SARS-CoV-2, coronavirus that basically saying that this it was discovered that it could actually last and be transmissible up to 3 hours when aerosolized, basically in the form of droplets that come from spraying it. If you have a spray can, you're able to spray something and it has coronavirus in it. It can last up to 3 hours in droplet form, and that it can also survive on cardboard for 24 hours, and on plastic or stainless steel for 2 to 3 days. So the World Health Organization is considering ordering medical workers to take airborne precautions. Green War graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So due to these days and times, there's been a lot of contact with family and friends in America, over the internet, and it's encouraged internet service providers, ISPs like AT&T, like Comcast, to actually lift their data caps. They noticed that there wasn't any interruption in service due to the increased bandwidth. So this is renewed calls for the FCC to actually consider internet providing as a utility. We consider the internet as a utility, and also reverse the net neutrality repeals that took place, under the Trump administration and all of that. But keep in mind, though, also on Facebook, they actually had censored coronavirus data from news outlets like The Atlantic, like BuzzFeed, like Democracy Now, like Politico. But a Facebook executive actually blamed it on some bug, some anti-spyware bug that came from like an intelligence agency software. So I don't know, but they have some right-wing tendencies, that's for sure. Green War graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in China, the Chinese government has actually expelled journalists from the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, and from the New York Times, and has ordered that any journalists from Time Magazine, they have to detail the reporting that they plan on doing in China. This seems like a retaliation due to the fact that last month the Trump administration actually ordered that all U.S.-backed Chinese outlets limit the number of Chinese workers that could be at these outlets to 100, and it's actually regulated 5 state-run Chinese news outlets as being Chinese government functionaries. So we'll see what this turns into. Green War graduate. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So while the United States of America is worried and in a frenzy due to the fact that all 50 states now have a case of the coronavirus disease 2019. Joe Biden, a presidential Democratic candidate, former vice president under Obama, and that has consolidated his lead over Bernie Sanders to become Democratic presidential nominee after on Tuesday winning all of the primaries in Illinois and in Florida by wide margins, winning just enough in Arizona. Ohio, they actually canceled their primaries due to the fact that Governor Mike DeWine had actually called a public health emergency, so they didn't do any voting then. But in these other places, like in Illinois, for example, you had 200 polling places in Chicago that were actually shut down. 800 election judges refused to participate in Tuesday's